Peace. You know what? I'm trying to keep us in the matrix, not just here, but all around this planet, right? Now, I'm going to find this video to show you how I've been telling people how it is flooding around here. Like, it's been raining since the spring hit, okay? It's like every other day we were getting rain. Every other day we were getting rain, right? And the banks and the rivers are just like already to the tipping point. Now we have a storm, right? Coming up the East Coast, dropping off tons of rain, okay? And it's coming up. It's not like it's coming off of the coast. It's coming up from the south, or looks like the west to the east. I don't know. Maybe southwest to the east. I don't know. But it's not a good look. I've been trying to warn people to be careful in their travels, right? Shootings all over the place. They had several shootings in Atlanta earlier today. One in Miami. This is a deadly, and when I say deadly, a very deadly Memorial Day holiday, and it's only gonna get worse, right? Because this people have been in the house for over a year, right? And this is what people want to go back to as what they say is normal. Meanwhile, the earth is showing you, everybody kept saying, ain't no reset. Meanwhile, the earth is around here showing you better than she can tell you. They had an iceberg that broke off from, I want to say Antarctica, right? And it's the size of Delaware, right? And as it floats, it's going to melt. And when it melts, the water will rise, right? The earth is covered in 3/4 of water. If you don't understand what 3/4 of water is, I break it down into percentage for you. 75% of the earth is water. You want me to repeat it? 75% of the earth is already water, right? But I want to show you this. I'm not going to babble too much. Plus, I want to get back and find the other video of what I was watching before this to show you how dangerous shit is getting nature-wise, right? Not just, humans. Let's get to it.
400,000 people.
Let me turn up a little bit. I got my remote.
Another volcanic eruption broke in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
I'm sorry, y'all.
On the way after 10 neighborhoods in the city were told to evacuate. The volcano that erupted Saturday
This is a fucking volcano in Congo.
Again at any moment. More than 100 earthquakes have shaken the area. Toxic ash is in the air, and there is also the threat of gas exploding underneath a nearby lake. Scientists call the disaster unprecedented. Well, Larry Mado has been covering the unfolding disaster and filed this report.
A state of chaos and panic as people flee the city of Goma following what scientists call an unprecedented situation. Residents of 10 neighborhoods evacuate their homes with only what they can carry. Mattresses,
Africa, items, I don't know if that volcano erupted naturally or if they just setting y'all up for the gentrification.
Because of the earthquakes.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, maybe.
A crack already appeared under my bed.
What do we call him?
Aganyu? The description of an apocalypse is a reality facing this part of the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. The eruption from Mount DR Congo on Saturday puts them in the high-risk path.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, that's real. From magma underground.
That's nature.
An increase in earthquakes has led to fear of a second eruption.
This is the scramble to leave the danger zone of Goma. Thousands of people using every mode of transport available to them to try to get to the safety zone in Sake. We're about 8 miles out and traffic is backed up all the way.
More people trying to cross the border into the safety of neighboring Rwanda. UNICEF projects that up to 280,000 children could be displaced in the aftermath of the volcanic eruption. This mother of 6 tells me she's left everything behind, except her kids. It's all in the hands of God, she says. The Congolese government in Kinshasa says the priority is the preservation of human life. But the crowded evacuation routes lead to small towns like Sake. They're hardly prepared for the influx of internally displaced people. Alina Mugisha prepares a small dinner for her 3 children outside a church, but worries about where their next meal will come from.
We don't have the means to take care of ourselves. There's limited food. We're sleeping on the floor, and we're suffering.
Africa, as much as resources y'all got, y'all better help y'all neighbor and brothers and sisters in this time, because you don't know it'll hit you, right? You already see the riches ain't playing with you.
Organization says the DRC
right?
is the world's most neglected displacement crisis in 2020.
That's Congo.
The richest mineral base.
Now look at him. And it's destroying the minerals.
Living on top of this mineral reservoir are among the poorest people in the world and the most neglected.
That's why it erupted.
As panic spread.
Yep, that's why it erupted. Put a dent in some shit around here globally. Globally.
Well, Larry's just outside the city of Goma, and he joins us now. Larry, these mass evacuations, where are people going?
So, Becky, people are being sent east about 25 kilometers from here to Sake, which is what you've seen in that package. But there's no plan for them. There's no camp. There's nowhere to hold all these people who are going there. The local government here telling us that about 400,000 people have left the city, into some of them to Sake, some of them to Rwanda, and others. We're standing
Africa big enough where they can exodus, get out the way.
What do you see in the back there seems to be some smoke coming out of the crater again. And the local governor has told us that the crater appears to be expanding. That's one danger, another eruption. The second one, Becky, is what you see here. This is not lava that's swept through this wooded area and has not cooled off. It's igneous rock. But it is still in a state where some of it is still... All right, this is quite dangerous. It kind of breaks like charcoal. It feels like charcoal. But
look how he got them tight pants on.
From the Goma volcanic observatory says the magma underneath, there's a possibility that it could implode without warning. So that covers parts of the city of Goma, but also the neighboring Lake Kivu. That's why they gave this mandatory but preventative order for people to evacuate, because they're just afraid that if something happened without warning, like the eruption on Saturday, hundreds of thousands of people would be in the direct path of this, one of the most active, one of the most dangerous volcanoes in the entire world. And if you don't understand, Becky, how serious this is, if you look
y'all don't see what's going on here.
This used to be a major highway connecting 2 main provinces
all of
in
it.
the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. That got wiped out entirely.
Africa is quaking. How about that?
Even though
just got started.
That is a danger, and that is why the government is trying to get people out of harm's way as quickly as possible.
So you spoke to Jan Egeland in the past couple of days. You made some, underline just how difficult, dangerous things are for people in the region. I mean, what is the solution here at this point, long term? I mean, clearly there is this is a very a short-term issue, and people are getting displaced as a result of it. But what's the long-term solution here?
So that's a complicated question, Becky, because there's no simple answer for it. Part of it is that this eastern part of the DRC already has a lot of problems. Banditry, armed conflict, disease outbreaks. There is just so much suffering already in this part of the world. The displacement crisis is about 6,000 people almost every day. That is what the Norwegian Refugee Council says. This is the most neglected displacement crisis in the world. On top of that,
that's why it's destroyed.
At any time and sweep the entire land.
I don't understand why all of a sudden everybody is baffled about nature getting ready to get
there are something like 80,000 homes.
Get the wicked off the planet, and even the innocent will die, right, in the path of it.
So the solution is complicated. Some have said there's need to move the city further away. There's need for a better warning system. And there used to be a warning system. There's a Goma Volcanic Observatory, but then it lost funding after a corruption scandal, and so they were just not able to do regular checks and warn people well in advance. So if you walk around the city, there are flags to indicate the alert level, and it's been red since the volcanic eruption, but they just don't know when the next one could be coming.
Larry, it's a pleasure. Thank you, sir. Important stuff.